Next up is Luke Suttmiller from the San Diego Brewcycle Coalition, who are fermenting change in San Diego's craft brewery beverage industry since 2021.
Hey, I'm Luke Suttmiller. I'm with Juneshine. I'm our sustainability manager. Our board members for SD Brewcycling can't be here today, so I'm the lucky one who gets to present. I'm one of the co-founders that SD Brewcycling started with back in 2021. So here you can see our board members. I won't go in depth too much about them, but it's a blend of people that are really passionate about recycling, are really creative about solutions with recycling, and if we really want to make a difference with creative solutions, you should probably have people who work in the city of San Diego to steer you in the right direction. So you have Natalia and Steve, who are environmental specialists. So our mission is to empower craft beverages and other companies to lead the sustainability movement in their industry by offering innovative recycling solutions and community education on best practices. I'm going to go over about 2 initiatives that we have. We're hoping to grow these initiatives. The first one I'm going to go over is our pack text to pavement. So I don't know who buys beverages around here, probably a lot of people. But most of the time they have, it's called a pack tech. It's like a little HDPE plastic number 2 holder on top. You would think has the number 2 label on it. You can put that in your recycling bin. It would be easily recyclable. What we did was a study. We put these pack techs all by themselves on the conveyors at the recycling facility to see how many of them would be recycled and not go to the landfill. Unfortunately, all the black colored pack techs are not picked up by the sensor, so any black colored pack techs that you put in your recycling bin, they end up in the landfill, and then less than 30% of all other colors of the pack techs also end up in the landfill. So an easy solution is like, well, why can't we just bring these back to the suppliers that are putting it out in the market? Unfortunately, once you use these and disconnect them from your beverage that you're going to be drinking, they don't have the same integrity, so you'd be picking up 6-packs and your cans would be dropping everywhere, and you'd have liquid exploding, and you'd have a whole nother situation you got to clean up. So one of the creative solutions that our board members were able to initiate was the pack text to pavement. So they're working with a company called MacGruber, and what they do is they turn hard plastics into plastic roads. It doesn't release any microplastic. That was my first question on that. And we're really trying to get the city to get on board with using hard plastics to be able to repurpose them into road pavement. We have about 40 drop-off locations, so if you go to sdbrewcycling.org and you have these pack techs, try to find one of these locations and it will get to the MacGruber facility for it to get turned into pavement. Since we started this program in 2021, we've diverted about 5,000 pounds of pack techs. Plastic doesn't weigh that much, so that's a buttload of pack techs that we're diverting. So pretty badass. Sorry for language. Yeah. So where I come in is I work at Juneshine. I'm not here to promote Juneshine, but what we were doing there was we promote sustainability, and it's like we do a lot of we're 1% for the planet. We measure our carbon footprint, try to reduce our scope 3 greenhouse gas emissions. But back in 2021, when everything kind of went sideways, I was coming into work every day and I was like, wow, we're sustainable. I love working at Juneshine. I looked at 2 landfill bins, 2 recycling bins, and they were just overflowing. You'd have incorrect things in those bins. I was like, well, this doesn't feel too sustainable. And everyone thinks you got to start a regenerative farm or have renewable energy on site to be sustainable, but the first thing you got to do is clean up your own mess. And being a production facility, it's very difficult to be sustainable. I think Yvon Chouinard, who started Patagonia, always says that it's impossible to be sustainable if you're a manufacturer, but the best thing you can do is clean up your own mess, and that's where like 1% for the planet started coming from. So what I did was I audited our ECHO bills. We were spending about $3,500 a month on hauling our waste. And went through each bin in our supply chain to see what commodities of waste we had. From there, I created a program of being able to separate that waste inside the facility, purchased a baler, and then started baling and separating on site. We were able to reduce our EDCO costs about $1,200 a month, and we were able to sell about $500 in waste back into the supply chain with our waste broker. So as a business, it makes sense to clean up your own mess and not have someone else do it for you. The kind of act of, I always use like the burrito analogy. It's like you go to your taco shop, you buy a burrito to go. They wrap it in aluminum, they put it in a paper bag, you then put your plastic sauces in there, and if you don't finish your burrito, that's a whole nother issue, but when you're done, you roll that all up into one place, throw it in your landfill bin and forget about it. There's 3 different commodities that you could have separated, not that you're trying to make money back home, but you have your paper that could be composted, you have your food waste that could be composted, you can clean out your plastic containers, put that in plastic number 2, and then you could have your aluminum that you could source, separate, and put that in your recycling. And I don't want to sound like too tone deaf, but I don't know how we got to a point in society where we think someone else is going to clean up our mess. And really being intentional in how you separate can be very impactful. So back to where brew scraps comes in, we were doing this on site for about a year, and the board members of SD Brewcycling kind of came to Juneshine, was like, hey, we want to start diverting waste in the brewing industry. How can we do that? And I was like, well, let's fail fast. So how about people just start dropping off waste at Juneshine, and we'll sort it out here and send it to where it's supposed to go. And that's kind of where the brew scraps side of Brewcycling was formed. So we receive over 10 breweries' waste. We accept plastic number 2, HDPE, plastic number 4, LDPE, plastic number 5, polypropylene, aluminum, and cardboard, which Plastic Beach, we should probably get together and talk about the plastic issues and probably find a solution. But since we started that program in 2021, we've been able to divert over 360,000 pounds of waste and ship it directly to that supplier. I don't want these numbers to come off skewed, but like what weighs more is aluminum and cardboard. But we are making a big difference in the brew industry. And also, we've now accepted Viore is bringing their plastic waste to us, plastic number 4, and we're helping that directly to the correct recycling facility. The key to this is collaboration. It's like, yes, we live in a competitive world where I want Juneshine to be the #1 bev alc. I want everyone to drink kombucha and our beer and our canned cocktails, but you have to work together and make a difference. By aggregating the waste, we are able to not only get the waste exactly where it needs to go to the recyclers, but we're also able to turn bales quicker, be able to put it on trucks, fill more pallet spaces, and make our Scope 3 side of this endeavor a little bit more efficient. In addition to that, I think the education that you can get at your own facility when you try to clean up your own mess and you start labeling bins of only this goes here and only this goes there can really educate your workers, which are the individuals that live in San Diego. And ultimately, that's what needs to happen to make a difference is we got to educate people that if you don't finish your burrito and you're going to roll it all up into one bag, that you should source separate it and put it in the correct bins. And that's pretty much all I got. I'm a rookie. I didn't put any contact information for me up here. But you can go to sdbrewcycling.org, or I think I'm the only Luke Suttmiller in the county, and happy to chat more about it.